Welcome to the GLR Adobe Campus. In order to follow along, you will need to download the course material from lesson 4 and make sure that you install the Montserrat font as well. Inside here you will also find the text for the magazine spread, and it's just easily copying and pasting everything in here. Of course, placing the images. Let's Command V. And now all the elements are here, so we can talk about styles, and the styles are already open on my screen and you can easily find them over here. Here are your favorite style panels. So let's talk about the paragraph styles, starting with the first subheading of our text, because this is going to be our heading, subheading, and body text. So I'm going to create a new paragraph style, open it with a double click, and this is going to be my subheading. There we go. Now in the basic character formats, it's going to be the Montserrat, which you need to install. And because of the fact that this is a subheading, I want to have it bold. There we go. Slightly smaller, it's going to be 9 points. And the leading needs to be 14, which makes it easier to read, a little bit more space in between of the lines. Let's hit OK and start worrying about the next paragraph. And that's going to be a new paragraph style as well. Double click on it. And this is going to be my body text. I've already made the subheading, so I can base it on that subheading. And that makes it easier because now we already see that the Montserrat is there, the same size is going to be used. But I'm going to make the change to regular. There we go. And this is going to be the same for the entire magazine. Yeah, the entire magazine, there's going to be a lot of work because I need to do everything by hand in this case. So I need to say, well, this is a subheading and this is a body text. Well, quite easy for just a few paragraphs. But if you've got an entire magazine with lots and lots of the same paragraph styles, yeah, then it's going to be difficult. So let's make some changes to the already made paragraph styles with a double click on the subheading. Because I know that after the subheading follows an enter, a hard return, and in this case it will be followed by the next style, and that's gonna be the body text. Let's hit OK, and let's see what the body text says. Well, with a double click, after the body text I want to start with a new subheading again, because after the body text there is a subheading. Does it make sense? I think so. Let's hit OK. And now we need to apply the styles again, starting with the first one, with a right click on subheading, apply subheading, then next style. There we go. And now we can see that it starts with a subheading, the body text, subheading, body text, subheading, etc. And that makes it very easy. And of course, I'm going to dive into the details right now because I really would appreciate some extra space in between of the paragraphs. I could do that with an enter, but again, that's a lot of work. Command Z or Command Z. Let's see what the body text paragraph style can do for us. With a double click on the paragraph style, we can go into the indents and spacing. We can select some space before and space after. But this is set into millimeters. And we already know that our paragraph style is 14 points leading. So let's add in, not millimeters, but 14 pt, and will be converted into millimeters, but this is the exact same spacing that we're going to use in between of the paragraphs. And now with just one adjustment to the paragraph style over here, we can see that in the entire magazine there is a space after of 14 points. Let's hit OK. So this is an ideal way of making a nice paragraph style that follows the other paragraph style and adding some space after a paragraph style using the body text. Now let's talk about creating something nice for a title which uses some character styles. And that's quite different because it's not focusing on an entire paragraph, but just on a few words or few characters in this case. I need to make sure that I've got a new paragraph style to start off with, and that's going to be my heading. There we go. I'm not going to base it on another paragraph because I want to make use of the Montserrat black and I want to have it 42 points. Let's hit OK. And now we've got something like this. It's hardly readable because it's black on black. So we need to make some changes. And I actually want the gym to be on the first line and the experience on the second line, making use of the same paragraph style, but making some differences with use of a character style. Makes sense? I hope so. But let's make a new character style and then it will make sense, I'm sure. So let's create a new character style. Double click on it. And this is going to be my heading magenta. Because the only thing that I'm going to change is the color of the character. And that's going to be magenta. And so let's hit OK. And yeah, there we go. It's magenta. But let's select none at first. And now we can connect those two together. So the heading and the heading magenta. So let's double click on the heading again. And now we can make use of the drop caps and nested styles. And nested styles, that's what we're going to talk about. So let's hit new nested style. Select the heading magenta. And it's going to be magenta through one word. And there we go. It's already set to one word. But I want to have the first sentence. So if I add a little soft enter with a shift return, then we can see the difference over here. So let's add a forced line break. There we go. Now everything is magenta. Let's hit OK. But if I add a shift enter, a shift return, the text will become black again. So magenta and black. So that's making use of a character style and then connected to a paragraph style. Last thing that we need to discuss in this tutorial about styles is the object styles. And object styles can be based on an object like a nice line around a photograph or something. So let's select a new style over here. Nice object style. And this is going to be the photo style. And there are lots and lots of things to go through. But let's focus on the stroke. Because I want to have a magenta stroke around it of 1 point. Let's add the preview. Well, 1 point is a little bit too little. Let's add a couple of points. There we go. Something like this. And now we can easily add those object styles around photos quite easily. So there we go. So this is for now all you need to know about the styles and how to create styles and how to apply styles. And make sure that you've got the same result as we used in here. And now it's up to you to create the final styles for these two text frames over here. Maybe something italic. Well, I leave that with you. But make sure you get familiar with using paragraph styles, connecting them together. And once you get the hang of it, it really speeds up your workflow.